Hi, my name is Julie Fott. I'm a senior at Ohio University. I've been promotions director for Syrvalin, and also I'm currently the social media coordinator. So immediately in spring, when COVID was announced, we decided to continue doing shows, but fully virtually. So we did streams on Twitch and on YouTube. And then when fall semester came around, we had an annual fundraiser event, Battle of Bands, which is really important to our org. So we had bands enter, but instead of having a live concert event, which would have been very unsafe at the time, we instead pre-recorded the shows and streamed them later, which was really beneficial because it was the safest way to have a show while also making a space for bands to come and show their music at a time where there's no shows happening and there's no people to come to shows. So creating virtual shows was ultimately like the main focus until around vaccines when they started to come back. So recently, back in this semester, earlier in the year, we planned a outdoor event, which was pretty successful because it's outside, so it's safer. And then we've also planned a lot of shows with the union, which does vaccine checks before people enter. So it's just a safer space to hold concerts. And then in the future, we'll continue to make sure that vaccines are mandated. We also had to cancel an event that was planned in August, and we rescheduled it, I believe, in September because a member of a band got COVID. So obviously we don't want to spread anything. So what we did was we canceled the event completely and rescheduled until that band member was completely safe and wasn't able to spread COVID, which was like a month after. So yes, we've had to cancel some events and we've adjusted as such so we can have the safest outcome possible. So one precaution we took for 2020 is we didn't really let a lot of people in the station. So a lot of new members haven't really been in here until this semester. And if they do come into the station, they have to like wear a mask when they're around people and be distant. We also recommend that everybody gets tested regularly, regardless of symptoms or not. And I think especially if we have a show coming up, don't show up to a show sick. I feel like that's pretty obvious, but it needs to be said time and time again. Like, yes, it sucks to miss a show, but just don't come. Just stay home, rest up. We've also had policies like while recording artists, like making sure mics are clean, that equipment's clean thoroughly. Just trying to be as clean and as like traceable as possible. I think also we've done a pretty good job by booking with like the union because they do have the vaccine mandate. Once again, like get vaccinated so that live shows can come back and be normal-ish again. So
I was a mess and they wouldn't let me in, but you can't get any help if you don't reach out your hand. So I'm doing better than I was then. And that's, it's progress for everybody. Emotional experience for everybody in this room. There's like 5,000 people in this venue right now. We're not showing them because it's not like COVID compliant. And I'm just kidding. There's like 4 people here.
Well, just not being able to attend shows in general was terrible. And it felt like just the worst, having nothing to look forward to, not even like a little house show on the weekend or some random band you've never heard of coming through town. But with shows being back now, it's definitely a lot different than it was before with just like COVID and everything. I feel like the sense of community has faded out a little bit, but with shows finally being back, it's finally starting to kind of start to get back to where it used to be. The first show back I went to was for a death metal band called 200 Stab Wounds from Ohio, and a bunch of other just Ohio-based death metal bands and hardcore heavy metal stuff. And it was a last-second pop-up show at an abandoned firehouse in Columbus, and so going into it, I was a little sketched out at first, even though I like going to the heavy metal concerts. But just going to like a old decommissioned firehouse and not being sure who was really going to show up with COVID still very real. But just the energy of that show was off the charts, and everybody was having a good time and helping each other and just there for one another and excited to be back in the scene that they were in before the pandemic. And now, even if they joined the scene during the pandemic, they finally could express themselves and enjoy a show. But since COVID, numbers have gone down in attendance at shows. A lot less shows have been happening, and you don't see a lot of touring bands come through and play houses anymore. But I think it's going to be that way for the foreseeable future, but I don't think it's going to stay like that. And I think sooner than later, we'll finally have better attendance at shows, and even just different bands coming and new bands in the area even popping up at those shows.
My name is Grant Schroeder, and I play the drums.
My name is Carson. I sing and play guitar.
My name is Preston, and I play the bass guitar. And we are a band called In Flow. We first formed as a band in early 2020 when we had a jam sesh in Grant's parents' basement. And we formed because we had a similar music taste.
Mm-hmm. It was like as soon as COVID started, like literally like a week before the lockdown. Like the lockdown was Friday, like that third week in March, and we jammed on, I think it was that Thursday, like over spring break of that year, and we just like jammed, see what we wanted to do, and that's actually when we wrote our first song. Like our first jam is a song we play today. I think our precautions with COVID, being a thing at our shows is the venues we're playing at, they're taking very good precautions. They're checking everyone's vaccine or negative tests. And the one house show we played during COVID that was inside, and with the high spread, we've offered masks, and also people have a preconceived notion that it's going to be inside. And we've also provided earplugs and such, but we just, I guess at this point, with the vaccine being available, that the people should know, and they have a choice, rightfully. And if you are vaccinated, you're protected, and if you're not, then I guess you don't care.
Yeah, we also have been through that situation where we've played a show in an environment where some attendees had COVID, so we have experienced, the repercussions of playing something like that and then, getting COVID because of it, which I think, we were lucky to be, have our health through it all and be safe. But after going through it, it seems a lot more scary, like beforehand, thinking about what would happen, but after like experience it firsthand, I think it's a little bit, it sucks, but you just have to be about it, I think.
I don't think it's anything you can plan for, because it always seems to be just at the worst possible time to happen, and then
convenient time.
Yeah, inconvenient time for sure. And then when it does happen, it's just your next couple shows get shut down. It's nothing to plan for, but you just got to roll.
I feel personally my preferred venue is a house venue, whether it's Columbus or it's Athens, or because I just like how like it's very informal, and that's something I really appreciate about house shows. And I like how it's free as well. Like I hate inviting people to shows and then telling them, oh, which $8 cover by the way, and bring your backs card, which of course like the politics and whatnot. But I like how like a house show is just free. It's low key. You show up, you know, you drink, you party, and it's a I think it's a really good event.
Yeah.
Maybe these guys have a different answer though, but
I agree.
No, definitely house
there's
shows.
also like fun parts about playing in a venue too. Like there's getting paid of course from a band's perspective, but
and I think you sound better in a venue.
definitely sound better.
But it's just the environment of a house show.
Yeah.
It's
A lot more intimate.
a lot more intimate,
Mhm.
and the no rule sense really
Yeah.
applies, and
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Party hard.
I think the last few months have been kind of fruitful, more so than I expected. We've been averaging probably like one union show a month, which is something I didn't think we would be able to have. But as far as live shows go, it's been pretty steady. I think we could play more, but also it's nice. The load we have, it's pretty appropriate, I think.
I feel like it's pretty consistent overall, gig wise, and I feel like we've been playing a lot more, and we've been recording, which is nice and something that we've been meaning to do for a while. And I think it's a good progression where we're at right now. Only
Yeah.
doing more and more.
Yeah. The past few months for us have been very fun. We've been able to record with some students who are working on projects, and also record up in Nelsonville with Hocking College. And we've made a great relationship with the people at the union, and they really like us. We've helped them out. They've helped us out. It's been very lucrative, and we're excited to see where it goes.